Hello everyone, and welcome back to Building Nations. In the last episode, I asked all of you to send me your building ideas for some wacky and fun and interesting things that I should make. I will make them every other episode and make a story that connects all of them together. So, the most upvoted liked comment on the last episode had a whopping 0 likes, and that was from Jason Wynn, who says, you should make a big ol' tree. So, that's what I'm gonna do. So, I was in a car with some friends recently, driving back from an event of some kind, and they got on the topic of what I like to do in my free time. And I said to them that I like to play video games, because that's what I do. Play a lot of video games. Of course, that's not all I do, but that is mostly what I do in my free time. I would say that is a lot of what I do. So, we started then talking about another person that wasn't in the car at the time, who posts pictures of animals and whatnot on their Instagram, but like their animal on their Instagram. And I said that they do that because they don't have a personality to substitute their Instagram posting. Which is, I mean, it's kind of mean, but, can be considered joking, whatever. But that got me thinking, right? I only play video games in my free time. So how does that make me any different from any person that does that? What makes up a personality that enough to be like saying this is what I do and not get like flamed for it for not having a personality? Like if someone watches Netflix all the time and doesn't do anything else, does that mean they don't have a personality? I mean, I'm sure they do. But why do we say that it's not a substitute for a personality when it could be considered a personality in itself? Right? If you really like a TV show, or watching a bunch of TV shows in general, all the time, and you get into like what makes the TV show good, and why you like it enough to be able to like support statements and stuff like that about like the TV show itself, who's to say that that isn't your personality, right? And it's just kind of weird. Like what makes up a personality? You all know from watching these videos, hopefully, that I have a personality of my own, even if all I do is play video games all the time, right? So then why judge other people, like I did, for not having a personality if they only do one thing? They only do one thing with their life, in their free time. All those things, it's just kind of weird, you know? We can't make those judgments about other people without really thinking about ourselves and what we do as a person to make up a personality for ourselves to be unique that no one else has. Maybe that's part of the argument, is watching Netflix or whatever is not unique. There are plenty of people that do that. But then again, in my case, there are plenty of people that play video games all the time and don't do anything else. So, maybe I don't have a personality based off of these descriptors, but I do. At least I think that I do. Maybe someone would come in and say, no, you don't have a personality because all you do is play video games. And I'd be like, okay, that's interesting because the people that know me know that I have a personality. So, I guess really what I'm trying to say here is don't judge people based on their likes and dislikes, their interests, and know that each person is unique. They all have their own personality and way of looking at things based on who they are as a person, and that should be considered when talking about them and how they do things, I guess, if that makes any sense. That's just basically what I'm trying to say. It just got me thinking based on that conversation, like, just what is going on with me and how I am. And I feel like that self-introspection is a good thing for all people to do. If you don't know something about yourself, you should try to find it out. Why do I do this? Why do I do that? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? Important questions to consider when dealing with yourself and other people. If you know a group of people that does something a particular way, and you don't like what they're doing, why? What about what they're doing do you not like? And if they only like it, like they don't like anything else, as in the case of personality as mentioned before, like I only play video games, right? If that's the only thing they do, then try to figure out why they do that, what's interesting in it for them, and how you can adapt to start liking it in order to be around them. Unless, of course, you have no intention of doing that whatsoever, and then don't even bother, you know. But it's a good idea to ask why the ideas that they have may be different from your ideas, I guess. If that makes any sense. So yeah, that's just an interesting thing to think about. Let me know your thoughts on that. If I could have explained anything better in my thoughts, then I'll try to answer questions and stuff in the comments. But if nothing like that happens, then I guess all of you understood me perfectly, and will take what I said to heart and use it in your own dealings personally, I guess. Anyway, as you can see with this beautiful tree, I have just set a lot of it to lava, which is now slowly draining. Yeah. The biggest issue is getting the leaves to not decay. And I tried to like put in random amounts of wood to do it, and it didn't really work out so well. It was just kind of weird. But yeah. The overall building of the tree itself is going pretty nicely. I really like the roots there, just the kind of big pile of wood, because I think that's kind of realistic. Like a tree that big would just have a bunch of roots, and that wood does a great job of showing how bunched up those roots are. But yeah, putting in the leaves is rough, because I'm trying to do it with World Edit so I don't spend like 15 hours doing it. So, just why it takes a bit of time. Yeah. Trunk of the tree looking very nice as well. Nice and smooth going all the way up. I really like it. It's like white at the base, then big at the top. Yeah. I tried a lot of things. I looked it up. There's a block state called persistent for the leaves. So if the leaves have a persistent block state, then they don't decay. Which is what player-placed leaves have. Like anytime you place a leaf in creative, it has a persistent block state. But the leaves on like trees and stuff don't. So if you break them, then they'll decay. So the World Edit leaves don't have a persistent block state. And I tried using the ID for leaves that don't decay, and it didn't work at all. So eventually I set up a command block that tried to do it, but it still kind of didn't really work. As you can see, even now the leaves are decaying. And that's just kind of disappointing. So, yeah, don't get too excited for the tree. It might come back tomorrow and all the leaves are gone. But yeah, it looks really cool from this angle, so I am quite happy with it. And it was a big old tree, so yeah, there you go. Now he's old. Well, as you can see from that beautiful time lapse, we have now completed the big old tree. Yeah, certainly big, and he's certainly old. And his leaves are certainly decaying. For some reason. Oh wait, no, this one isn't. Okay, maybe this... Nope. Okay, well the oak one works. So... Okay. That's really weird. Why does only the oak one work? But the birch and jungle ones didn't. Okay. So... What I did... And this is why it looks kind of weird on the edges, because I think the oak stayed, but all the jungle and birch just kind of left. Because these have persistent false, whereas the oak have persistent true, which means they don't decay. So, I did that using command blocks, where the oak one, I copied and pasted it into the other ones. So the fact that the oak one's the only one that's staying is really confusing. I don't know why Minecraft oak leaves and Minecraft birch leaves are different things. If you look at the 3 commands in the chat here, if you can kind of see that if I turn off F3, like this, and this are exactly the same. One with oak leaves, one with birch leaves, and one with jungle leaves. But only the oak is staying. And that's just kind of weird. Only the oak has persistent true, whereas the birch and jungle, if there are any that I can even find, don't. Yeah, this says persistent false. I don't know why that is. But, in any case, if one of you knows how that works and would like to tell me how, so I can fix it and probably redo the leaves, then let me know, because I would be happy to. But yeah, I really like the way that this turned out. In the end, I like the face on it. I think it's kind of funny looking. But that's kind of the point of this entire area. This developing new area. Don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but it'll probably have some nonsensical, silly, fun name in it. So, that's that. That's the tree. And with that, I'm going to leave this here. Please continue to send me ideas. The most liked comment on either this video or the next video will be getting the next build spot in this area. So, if you want your build to be chosen, comment on this video, comment on the next video also too, because you have, double the like potential, I guess. And if you get the most likes, you'll be put in the video, so that's something to look forward to. With that, I'm going to leave this here. Leave a like, subscribe if you enjoyed, leave a comment with any feedback you have for me, and I'll see all of you later. Bye.